Hi ladies, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna be showing you how to do a step-by-step brow lamination using the Thuya Brow Lamination Kit. The first video was her before. She's never had a brow lami, so I'm very excited. So first we do start off by cleaning the brow, then we do get into brow mapping. I like brow mapping because it helps create symmetry between the brows. It helps with my next step, which is brow waxing. I do like to wax beforehand to get all of the unwanted hairs out of the way before I do go in with the brow lamination. So basically the Thuya Lamination Kit and the Miami Lamination Kit are the same concept. The processing times are just a little bit different. That's the only difference between them, but the concept is still pretty much the same. After waxing, I clean the brows with the wax off removal lotion to remove all the wax residue before I go in with the Thuya lotions to begin the brow lamination. Thuya Permanent Gel is applied as a step 1 product. This solution softens up the hair. The processing time for this is between 10 to 15 minutes. For thick brows, the time between 12 to 15 minutes. And for thin brow hairs, the time is between 10 to 11 minutes. So once we apply the step 1 lotion, we're going to go ahead and put some cling film on the brows. You're going to stretch it and then place it on the brows. For her, I did do a 10-minute processing time. So I'm going to let the brow sit with the lotion and the saran wrap for about 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes are up, I'm going to go ahead and just check in on her brows. I'm going to use a toothpick brush just to comb the hairs up and to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and place the saran film back on. Once the 10 minutes in total are up, you're going to go ahead and take the cling film off the brows, grab a Q-tip and press firmly against the brow hairs to make sure that you're taking all of the product off before applying product number 2. Next, I'm going to go in with the step 2, which is the neutralizing cream. So this one basically sets the hairs in place. I'm going to put a few drops on the brows, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the lip applicator brush to just spread it around the brow. And then I'm going to put the saran wrap and let it sit for about 10 minutes. This is also going to be 10 to 15 minutes as well. For her, I did do the 10 minutes as well. So after 5 minutes are up, I'm going to grab the toothpick brush and I'm going to brush her brows up and to the side, so that way we can make sure that they are being nice and processed up and to the side. And I'm going to leave the saran wrap on her brows for another 5 minutes. Now once the 10 minutes are up, I'm going to go ahead and remove the cling film, and I'm going to grab a Q-tip and I'm going to press firmly on the brow to make sure that all the product is 100% removed before applying the next step. For this next step here, I usually like to tweeze and make sure I remove any unwanted hairs before I do go in with the tint. The tint is usually the next step after the tweezing. So I just want to make sure the brows are clean before I do start the tinting process, just to make sure that the tint doesn't also get in the unwanted hairs. So when I do start the tinting process, I usually like to start on the bottom of the brow. I usually start on the arch and then work my way down to the tail, and then I go back to the arch and work my way up to the front of the brow. So the way that I like to do it is I just grab very little product and I put it on the brush, and I just pretty much like to feather out on the brow. I don't want to make it too dark. I don't want to make it too exaggerated because a brow lamination is already a lot and you don't want them to be extra and dark. So I do just grab a Q-tip after that and just clean the bottom of the brow just to make sure that we have the line nice and crisp. When I do the tinting, I do also like to leave the tint just for about a minute or two. Nothing crazy because you don't want them to be too dark. So what I do is leave it about 1 minute on one brow, 1 minute on the other brow, and then after that I do go ahead and grab a damp Q-tip or a cotton round and I just remove all the tint, pressing firmly just to make sure that all of it comes off, because you don't want it to over process and then the brow is very, very dark. So for the last step, we're putting the regenerating cream. That is the third cream that seals step 1 and step 2. So this does hydrate the brow hair. It does help moisturize as well. I do apply it and I use a toothpick brush to brush the brow hairs up into the side. I use that to style the brow as well. So as you can see here, I'm going to style the brow from the front all the way down to the tail, so that way the hairs can look nice and in place and the brow style is pretty and tapered. Now the last step is to just highlight the brow. So I just like to use a flat brush to highlight the brow. I usually start from the beginning and work my way down towards the tail. I like to use highlight because it does help the brow look nice and clean and put together. So after I highlight the brow, I just grab a Q-tip, I just wet it, and I clean the brow. So I basically like to make the highlight look as thin as possible. We don't want a thick highlight because it is gonna look a little weird. So I just make the line as thin as possible so it can blend in. And this is her after. The brows look so good. I'm so happy. She's happy with the results as well. Let me know in the comments what other brow services you'd like to see. Thank you guys so much for watching.